You know, it's been a while since we had our last installment of Familiar Shorts. Just long enough to spring this unexpected work on you. Today we'll be looking at Face Like a Frog. Now, Face Like a Frog is actually an independent short produced and animated by the incredibly talented Sally Cruikshank. Now, her name may not be familiar to you, but I guarantee that each and every one of you has seen her work dozens of times. She's the one that produced those distinctive and catchy animated music videos that were on Sesame Street. Among them such classics as The In Crowd, The Island of Emotions, and my personal favorite, Above It All. But that's not the limit to her range. She's done animated work for a lot of movies in the 80s, and produced other shorts with more adult themes. But all have the same surreal and fantastic elements that are unique to her style. However, I don't think any of them are more surreal or fantastic than Face Like a Frog. And as if I haven't piqued your interest already, the short features a score and original song produced by Danny Elfman, under the name Mystic Knights. No, that's a crappy Power Rangers ripoff. I'm talking about Oingo Boingo's first name.
That I know!
So the feature begins with a frog driving an alligator car down a spooky road full of ghosts and trees. Then a giant protozoa flies out of the sky and stops Frogface and turns into a frog girl.
There's a hex on our house.
Everyone has problems. Ribbit.
The early art style for Princess and the Frog wasn't so much racist as it was weird.
My name's Galooey.
Excuse me?
My name's Galooey.
A baking powder?
My name's Galooey.
I'll stick with you.
Okay, what kind of person wouldn't see that this place is bad news?
I'm going blind, sir.
So they go into the haunted house, and we're treated to all sorts of crazy imagery as Frogface explores and Balooey tries on some different outfits. Seriously, this is like the Grinch's paraphernalia box, except Pee-wee gave you some bad crack right before. So anyway, Frogface apparently meets Balooey's family, and is freaked out enough to try to make a run for it. And that's when Elfman shows up to give him some words of wisdom.
Oh! You can tell a dirty story in the old conservatory, but don't go in the basement. You can make a scene of the mezzanine, but don't go in the basement. You can fill yourself with static with the ghosts up in the attic, but don't go in the basement. You can light yourself a torch on the old front porch, but don't go in the basement. Or you may think that it's real cool to ride down the banister like some darn fool. Oh, don't go in the basement. Hey, you can feel quite aloof, playing a rubby on the roof, but don't go in the basement. When the cockroaches dance, you can wallow in romance, but don't go in the basement. Oh, you may think that it's the lust to ride in an elevator filled with dust. Oh, don't go in the basement.
Big lip talent, it's a moment.
Nostalgia Chick gets $5 every time someone uses that joke, but it's worth it. So then Frogface reaches into his bag and grabs something labeled Nut Detector, which reveals that everyone in the house is a giant nut creature.
Why didn't somebody tell me that he had one of those things?
Yes, giant nut monsters, which is also the title to a Cloverfield-inspired porno. Scratch that, everyone but Balooey, who is just stripped to her underwear. Because why not? Of course, the obvious solution to the situation would just be to kick him in the nuts. But instead, Frogface and Balooey leapfrog into the basement, where they find, of course, a subway train.
Where does it go?
To hell.
Oh no, can't go.
But it makes one stop in Miami Beach. Hello, Max.
And then they live, or not, happily ever after, in hell maybe, I'm not sure. But man, what a trip. This short has been praised as a psychological exploration, an experiment in narrative, and an illustration come to life. Cruikshank always seems to have a way of imprinting her work on you. She did it when I was just a toddler, and she did it again all these years later. So be sure to stop by her personal YouTube channel and show her some love, and you'll be able to see this familiar short in its entirety again and again.
Tell a dirty story in the old conservatory, but don't go in the basement. You can make a scene of the mezzanine, but don't go in the basement.
Today's episode was brought to you by the number 666 and viewers like you. Thank you.